plus Scotty Rourke will be there. Tim Miley will be there, and we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. I want to talk about some of the things that have been happening lately. We've been actually, and Glenn's going to actually support this one because Glenn's actually my I could say my technician. Him and I was actually, what happened was a couple of weeks ago, I noticed I was getting a hacker after me. They decided to jump into my computer and start to control some of my stuff. And some of the problems I was having is my computer screen was going blank, and it actually started turning purple, and then it started going black. And then I started losing icons. They kept being shifted around everywhere, and then I couldn't download any music or transfer any music, or I could not even transfer photographs into my computer. I'm thinking, I've been hacked or I've been Trojaned. I didn't know what to do. So I thought, okay, fine. I'll have to wait until I can afford it later on, and I'll see what I can do. But I didn't get a hold of Glenn at the time. And I was actually doing the Eurofest here up in Burnaby. And during that weekend of the Eurofest, I get a phone call from a company called Microsoft. And they're saying, we're the technicians from Microsoft. And we got an email from you stating that you're needing needing our help to fix something. You notice that you may have been probably Trojaned. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, well, I can't go right now because this is on a Saturday. I said, wait until Monday, and we'll sit down and talk about it. So I find Monday come around, and around lunchtime, these guys made a phone call, and they're there ready to be the technician. And then they were going to give me the 3 different individual deals, which one was supposed to be for $400, one was supposed to be for $500, and one was supposed to be for $900, which is somewhere in $1,000. And they said they could give me a lifetime guarantee that I'll never get Trojans again, a lifetime guarantee that their program is way better than any other part of the program in the world because Microsoft is supposed to be the top dog. They sent me to 2 websites that had the name Microsoft, and they called it, oh my God, they gave it a name. I forgot what it was called again. My wife, she was so angry she threw the papers in the garbage. But they gave themselves this. What is it now? Now you can think I can find it. Anyways, it was all to do with being being technicians. They were going to fix it, right? But like I said, they said they work for Microsoft. So I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll think about this. And I said, okay, so my wife said, what are you going to do? And she says, well, maybe we're going to have to get this done because there's no way, because your computer is next to dead. It's not going anywhere. And it wasn't going anywhere. So the guys come in and they're saying, this is what you got. You got this Trojan. Oh my God, look at all this. And they're coming in and they're saying, well, we need to access your computer. So I give them the password and access it. And they got control of my computer. And then they start giving me the deals and numbers and saying, okay, now we're going to start downloading this. And the part that became just as much suspicious was when they installed a PC transfer program and they put it in my computer. PC transfer. I thought, what the hell is a PC transfer? Here, the PC transfer means they're taking all the files out of my computer and they're sending it to theirs. And I went, whoa. So I quickly thought, okay, I stopped it. I turned off my computer. I froze it. And then I decided to go on the internet. I had my cell phone with me, and I did a little bit of checking and find out who these guys are. And then I started noticing there's actually a lot of complaints. And it said, scam. I went, oh, man, and my body's getting hot. I was getting tension in my chest. And I thought, okay, this is not good. So I decided to get a hold of Glenn. And I got a hold of Glenn, and I called him up, and I said, Glenn, I got a problem here. And I told him exactly what was going on with who these guys were, and he says, unplug everything. He said, all your internet access, unplug it all. So I unplugged all the internet, and I waited till they got here. In the meantime, I was getting phone calls. So Glenn was actually downloading a program on the memory stick, and he's at home, and we were waiting for him to show up. In the meantime, I'm getting 36 phone calls from the company itself asking, trying to get a hold of me. And they weren't just using my one landline. They're after my cell phone. And they're trying to call me from both phones. Then they call me from both phones at the same time. and they're adamant to get a hold of me, and I thought I'm not going to answer the phone until they get here. So Glenn comes over, and Glenn, you want to share the rest?
Oh, yeah, they actually phoned me while I was fixing your computer, and you can explain the rest on that as far as the conversation went.
Yeah. So actually,
it was hilarious.
Glenn brings this memory stick in, and he starts fixing it for me. Fabulous program, by the way. Actually, I was only fortunate. I only had one Trojan, which was actually what it was. It was a kidnapping Trojan. It was something to do with. Glenn can explain that part, but
yeah, that's actually a backdoor Trojan. They were looking at what they do is they install it. If you're surfing certain sites, they'll say click on this link, blah blah blah, and eventually they will get back into the back end door of your computer. What they'll do is they'll leave it there for about 2 to 3 weeks, and won't touch it, and then when they're ready to go, they'll click on the button and they'll shut down your system. Well, they'll attempt to shut down your system. What they will do is give you a false virus and say, okay, well, you have to pay such and such amount of money to actually have that virus removed. And like you said, they said lifetime guarantee, $1,000. Like, hello? $1,000? I got rid of it in 5 minutes. It's like, done.
Yeah. You killed it all, and then they got really upset. So in the meantime, he put everything into the computer, fixed it all. I mean, even my screen was absolutely sharp, clean. I mean, it looked like it was like it didn't even look even murky anymore. It was perfect. So, and it was kicking ass. I mean, everything was moving so well.
Yeah.
And then he popped it into my wife's computer and fixed that as well. In the meantime, their phone call was coming in, and they want to know what's going on.
That was funny.
So Glenn's sitting next to me, and I was upset. And I thought, okay, how am I going to fix this? So I turned around and I thought, okay. So I answered the phone, and I said, hello. And they said, we were calling about your computer. Are you going to continue on getting your computer repaired? And I said, well, I changed my mind. And they said, well, so you are not wanting to do it. I said, no. And they said, they're asking why. And I said, because you guys are professional cons. And I said, I have the police here right now as we speak, and they're actually here to investigate what you've done. And the guy says in the background, he said, well, we welcome the police if they can actually find us. And I said, well, I don't just have the police here. I have the Interpol here. And Interpol is here. They're a special unit that goes after people like you that are hackers. And I can hear him, right? And the guy in the background, like he's like this, whatever they're saying. And next thing he didn't really believe me. And I said, well, here's the officer. And I passed the phone to Glenn.
It was too funny.
And then Glenn says, hello, sir.
I'm the detective with Interpol. Can I have your name, please? And he's like, oh, okay, well, I don't really want to give you a name. And he says, well, who are you? I'm like, I'm an investigator with Interpol. Can I have your name? Because we're actually tracing your call right now. And we know you used the backdoor Trojan to actually deactivate his desktop. And you're charging him a whole bunch of money. And then all we had was, what, Derek?
Click, click. He never even responded back. Like, he went click, never came back.
Which is good.
Which was good. That was hilarious. And
it was quite funny. We actually wish I had recorded that.
Glenn says to me, yeah, he goes, oh, we didn't record it. I'm going, damn it.
That would have been so funny.
It was too good. It was too perfect. No, man, it was cool.
Oh, that was definitely a laughing point.
I had laughed so hard I couldn't believe it. It was like, but I mean, if I didn't have Glenn around here, I'm telling you, it probably would have fell for the crap and lost $1,000. You know,
well, it's the same with me in radio. Like, you taught me so much in radio, and you come over here so many times to teach me how to figure out how to do it. It's been kind of a trade-off, basically. Now, I teach you how to do the PC, you teach me how to do radio, and we're all good to go.
Yeah, we're all good to go. We just switch back and forth, him and I, and we share stories.
That's right.
And it's fun. I mean, I've learned a lot from Glenn. Glenn's learned a lot from me. Him and I have already done live shows live. I mean, on location. We did a psychic fair a few weeks back at one of the hotels. Actually, is on its last legs. It's actually be torn down as we speak. And so we did on-site location interviews. We had a lot of practitioners that were there. interviewed them. We had a great time. It was absolutely fabulous on location. So Glenn's going to be doing the same thing, and actually, I want to let you guys know in the background, he's got a good friend sitting next to him. Actually, one of the team members is Troy.
Hey, Derek.
And also, we've got Sharon Granger from the Paracon. Sharon, you still around?
Hi, I'm here.
There she is. So the four of us are here actually talking about some really fabulous stuff coming up, guys. So I'm going to get Glenn to share with us today about, we have a special thing happening coming up soon, but regarding the Paracon.
Yes, we have actually a ticket available. It's a VIP pass. It's valued at $120, I believe, Sharon. Is that correct?
All right, it is.
Yeah, and it's basically the opportunity to win tickets for free. So if you have the opportunity to do that, we'll have a calling number, and within the next hour and a half, actually over the next hour and a half, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
We'll reference, if you want to call in a number and answer the question that I have posed within the next 15 minutes. So be prepared to answer a question. If you can answer that question, the tickets are yours.
But these are only for people who are actually serious about coming out to the Paracon.
That's correct.
Now, folks, if you may not know, if you've never been to Winnipeg before, I think it's about time.
Is it up north? I thought it was back east.
Yeah, it is east. Actually, I'm originally from Manitoba. I was born there.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to live in that area. It's in the wintertime was actually considered, we called it 10-foot snowbanks.
Yeah.
Off the course.
Yeah, part of the course.
Lots of mosquitoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Mosquitoes never bother me much. I mean, everybody keeps on saying, "Oh, I hate those mosquitoes." Here, Sharon will remember this. I'm sure she remember. Sharon, do you remember those big fog machines they used to drive through the city?
Yes.
And they used to tell the people to go into their homes for at least an hour or two?
Oh, no, I was busy chasing butterflies after that and pink elephants.
Oh, okay.
It must have been the spray.
It must have been the pink elephants that she was chasing.
That reminds me of Disney. There we go.
Yeah. But that stuff was pretty toxic, and you were hiring a kite. But they had these big, huge fog machines in the back of the trucks, and they'd spray this fog in the streets, and next you know there was like dead flies, dead mosquitoes. They figured they were helping the public, so to speak. A lot of people got sick, even going to the hospital, but just smelling those foggers, and they thought they were doing a good thing. But the worst part of it all, they're still using these foggers. Those foggers, I'm telling you.
They're still using them?
Yeah, I want to kick them in the fogger.
Well, no, not necessarily.
No, not
We
in
are
Winnipeg,
getting
but they're using them in the States again.
They're using a less toxic spray, but how less toxic it is, I have no freaking idea. But I haven't seen any pink elephants yet, so they must have done something.
Yeah. So her elephant's turning blue.
So would that be classed as motherfucker?
Motherfucker. Yeah. But
the mother of all foggers.
Yeah, mother of all foggers.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah. But anyways, I actually just saw this editorial just recently, folks, just today. And in the States, I believe it's either part of Florida, but they're actually fogging again out in the streets to try to kill mosquitoes. In the meantime, they lost millions and millions and millions of bees.
Yeah.
So the foggers are killing the bees, and the people are absolutely upset. So now they got to stop using foggers because they're making a big deal. They think these mosquitoes are actually the main problem, and it's gone too far. They're going to have to find some other means of ways of, instead of using foggers, they should be using their own citrus fruits. And you put the damn citrus fruits in your body, and the mosquitoes won't bite.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to use citrus from now on. And but people keep on thinking, well, let's use Monsanto. They're really good. It will help you. And you can get high as you can. So in the meantime, all those bees are dead, and then we start losing bees, and then all of a sudden the price of food goes up because you don't want all the bees dead. I'm telling you, it's important to keep our flowers pollinated. So we have to watch and share that with the public. Be careful. Yeah. Now Bonnie's talking about in the chat room. She's saying purple elephants are better. That depends on what kind of T-shirt you're wearing. For me, I always wear purple T-shirts. and I'm a big guy.
Well, I tend to get messed up with, especially mosquitoes. I blow up like a balloon, unfortunately.
Well, you're not supposed to see. They're probably blowing on you, not taking your blood, because you're so skinny.
Well, it is a combination of that.
They're feeling sorry for you.
British.
They're going like, man, he's too skinny. Give him something. Give him something at least.
We
We're
don't
feeling
have
sorry
mosquitoes
for the guy.
in England. It's mozzies, we call them, which are like little midgies.
Yeah.
The minor mosquitoes.
Well, my best friend tells me, like, when he was up in Saskatchewan, in one of the provinces is full of mosquitoes up there, and he says that the mosquitoes are so bad up there that they have to use these certain kind of sprays, on their bodies.
Yeah.
It's like a I can't remember what it's called, like a mosquito spray. He says that the mosquitoes are not even affected by the spray on the arms and the body anymore. Actually, he says they're actually jumping on the can and licking it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they don't care, as far as they're concerned. It's
party!
Party!
Yeah,
give me
party.
the stuff, yeah.
Party on the blood
We'll
fest.
just do a line of that spray. Yeah. So.
Back in the 70s.
We're laughing here. We don't get too many mozzies. It's too cold here.
Yeah. We actually we do get the odd mosquito, but not like heavy amount of it. I know I can tell you right now in northern BC really bad. I was up in Burns Lake, and Burns Lake, they're known for lots of the lakes, and out there you have to cover all your arms, your face, and your back. And a lot of people wear netted hats, like they put the nets on their hats, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember when my wife and I were camping in Grassy Plains in this trailer, little tiny trailer, and the mosquitoes were fighting their way through the screens to get at us to bite. That's how bad they were. They were fighting to get at us to bite. Oh yeah, and all you hear is they're all pissed off with you.
I can always tell when there's one around me.
I'm going to get you. I'm going to get
buzzing
you.
going on. It's like, nah.
So we used to actually have to cover our heads and our faces with the sheets, right, at nighttime. You wake up in the morning, and my wife, the very same night, apparently some of the mosquitoes got through, and they went through her hand, like I guess the back of her hand. And she used two types of sprays, I guess, to cover, because she used to get really bitten bad. Well, I guess her back of her hand looked like a glove. It puffed up really bad, so she poisoned herself, like from the chemical, not from the mosquito bite. So she literally, I told her, she had to wash her hands thoroughly with water and soap, and to get rid of the bite. It was horrible. Yeah. These things can happen. Anyways, but we want to talk about also that Glen actually is a paranormal investigator, folks. He's with, he actually has his own radio show here on Z-Talk Radio called Parax Radio, Canadian Parax Radio.
Canadian X-Talk.
Canadian X-Talk.
You were close, but not bad.
Oh, Canadian X-Talk. Paranormal X-Talk. You know what? There's so many guys that got X this and X that.
Yeah, it's extreme.
X marks the spot. Yeah. So, yeah, he's here. And big shout out to an old friend of ours who's not at the station anymore. Bill, if you actually listen in, buddy, we're saying hey to you.
Yeah, big time hey.
Big time hey. Miss you. Anyways, his wife won't let him anymore. She won't let him do any investigations. Too bad. But that happens. We talk about it. We actually hear stories from a lot of other paranormal investigators, actually, are famous teams. That a lot of guys have actually left their group, left their team, because their wives said, I don't want you famous anymore.
I don't class myself as famous. What the hell is that?
It's not good for you.
Is that what a nagging wife sounds like, Derek?
Yeah, I'm running out of fear now.
Yeah, fair enough. But I've never considered myself famous. I just do what I do, and I put in my hours as per everybody else.
The wife turns around and said, "It's me or that ghost." Have you ever had sex with a ghost before?
No, quite so. I've had blankets pulled off my legs before.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, we're heading back up to the Coleman Hotel this weekend, which I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah, you're heading up there. When you want to share with everybody about your little trip.
Yeah, we're heading up to Coleman Hotel at Coleman, BC. It's in between, where is it, Princeton and Tulameen. It's in the middle of nowhere. It was originally designed as a mining camp.
It was a mining town.
It was a mining town. Yeah, they built a hotel there, It was built in 1909. Actually opened as a bar in 1913, I believe. And there's a couple of people shot there. There was a lot of work with the ladies of the night, if you wish, back in the time. And there's definitely a lot of stuff going on there.
Ghostly ladies of the night.
Ghostly ladies of the night.
Do you think that's who pulled the blankets out of you?
I'm guaranteed that's who pulled the blankets off me. Can be a guy.
You know why? Because they know he was British.
No. Just because I'm British. It's not a guy.
Lucky for him, he's not a scout.
They probably put the blankets back. Oh, he's British. Let's tuck him in.
They thought he was a Scotsman.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't his sheet. That was a skirt.
Yeah, I'll actually be broadcasting live from the Coleman Hotel at 7 o'clock on Saturday until 9 p.m. PST, which is 10 p.m. EST, I guess.
This coming Saturday, guys, between 12 and 3, they're going to be going live, hot live on location.
Hot live on location.
Hot live. You're going hot and live on location, so you're going to end up you probably end up hearing some that'd be kind of interesting. You actually have some of your machinery on at the same time while you're going live, but just sitting in the studio and see what happens.
Yeah.
And
call out if you hear something that you shouldn't, wouldn't it?
Well, call out the girls, the dancing girls, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you'll hear some strange sounds, I'm sure.
I spend a lot of time within this field, like I say, up to 26 years. I prefer to do historical research. It's just one of my things. I've always been into history. I do World War I, World War II, blah, 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 and all the other wars that have occurred. But the history of a location has always interested me more than anything else. And I hate to see locations like the Coleman shut down.
Yeah.
Because of real estate. It's, well, why would you tear down something that was built in 1909?
Well, it's a historical.
Reserve it as a heritage place.
Yeah, it's historical. I mean, it's something that should have been kept.
Yeah,
and there are some hotels that are refurbished and kept because people like it. I don't know why. Here's the thing. I've actually had I investigated a movie theater up in Surrey. Is very, very haunted, and the people that purchased the theater had said to me, "Don't share it with anybody. They don't want nobody to know that it's haunted because they're afraid or they're worried if the Christians would not show up at the theater if people told it was haunted. Christians, let me tell you something, folks. Christians love the drama in the theater, and anything to do with hauntings, they're the first ones there. More than the atheists."
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of locations where we've investigated and where the client has said, don't want to make this public because we don't want people to shy away from a location because of possible paranormal activity. Well, then nobody would be moving to England either or traveling to England either. Stay away from England if you don't like paranormal activity because that place is rife with this stuff.
Right is raw out there. No matter where you go, guys, more than half of the country is all haunted anyways.
Yeah,
you'll always see something there,
Yeah, well, between England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, there's a lot of history there. And we don't tear down our historical locations as they do here in Canada, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
When I came over here, we lost the Woodlands Hospital, which was demolished by a kind of a strange fire which occurred.
Rabbit's Hole. Chris details his encounters of hauntings, cryptid creatures, alien encounter, and a stalking doppelganger. Taking this plunge into the wonderland of the paranormal with Chris McDaniel as he seems to be falling down the rabbit's hole. Now, Falling Down the Rabbit's Hole, True Paranormal Events by Chris McDaniel, available to you on Amazon.com.
Borders bookstores, and for an autographed copy, visit creepylegends.yolasite.com. That's creepylegends.yolasite.com.
Hey, this is Danny Potts from the Kentucky Ghost Chasers, and you're listening to Z-Talk Radio.
A lot of vibrating there, my friend.
Hello?
Yeah, you're wowing.
Hey, you're kind of gobbled right now. You're actually losing some of your traction.
Yeah. See, that's sound mixer.
Yeah, we're not getting you at all hardly there.
I can hear you guys.
We're getting kind of half of it.
We're getting half words.
Okay, well, maybe because you're only double feedback. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there's an echo.
Hang on. Let's try this here.
Okay.
Okay. Fixed.
Okay,
right.
good.
Could have flipped the mic and bring it back on again.
Still echoing a bit.
Yeah. At Skype.
It's hit and miss.
That's Skype. Yeah, it was perfectly fine before, and after I came back from a commercial, all of a sudden they were going, "Oh, you guys are flipping, you guys are echoing."
Freaking out, yeah.
What can I say? Oh my God. Well, just shoot me.
Oh, wow, I'm getting feedback. What is that?
Do you have your headphones on for that?
I got my headphones on.
And kill the speakers.
See? I said just shoot me, all of a sudden kill it.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
That's way better.
Oh my God, I killed the speakers.
Perfect. That works.
I forgot my speaker standing in front of my microphone.
Yeah, I've done that before as well. I've actually run a show with the speakers full blast and like, oops, why are we getting feedback? Why are we getting an echo?
Yeah. See, even the people in the chat were going, owie.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Definitely.
Okay, somewhere in time. Anyways, we're here, folks, and you are listening to us, Between Two Worlds Radio. And again, as we speak, we're talking about Glen Ferguson. We're actually talking about this cool hotel that you're working at and doing an investigation at. And we're mentioning also about... I want to hear the story about that location. What's so special about it, about that hotel?
Well, the location was actually built in 1909. It was built specifically as a hotel with 3 floors in Colmont, British Columbia, which is just slightly outside of Granite City. Granite City was a huge mining town in its time back in prior to 1909. They opened the bar in 1913. The location was served as a drinking hall and also a place to exercise your manhood in the time between the second and third floors. The third floor now is completely condemned. We can go up there as long as we wear masks, which I definitely guarantee all my guys will be wearing, because if they don't go up there with a mask, they're not going up there. But we've been there twice before. The location is definitely very active. People have been touched, slapped, tossed around. We've had people knock on doors. We've had footsteps. We've had partial operations. So it's just kind of an interesting location.
Why do you have to wear masks?
We're wearing masks because of contamination. You're looking at something that's been up there that has been demolished for the last 60 years. So you're looking at bad guano, you're looking at rat droppings. All those things can affect you, which most people don't know when they first get into paranormal investigating. We actually did have an investigator die, I think it was last year in California. She suffered from asthma, and she was in a location where there was a lot of bad guano and rat droppings. And she passed away within 2 weeks of actually leaving that location, which was a sad thing for us.
That's not good at all. Yeah, you have to be very prepared about what you have to wear, and and also too, because sometimes some buildings actually have asbestos.
Yeah,
and like it's because there are people have been known to get asbestos poisoning. So yeah, it is important.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Well, at least you guys are one step ahead of it, and So the second and third floor, you're supposed to test your manhood. So who's going to do that? Troy?
Absolutely. I don't mind. He told me he wants to put me up on the third floor. Apparently there's a lot of activity up there. Nobody goes up there anymore, so we'll see what it's like.
Well, I've worked with you.
We went to White Rock a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah. And you were out there, like you were in there, like you wanted to get into the bush and dance with those guys. So,
well, I'm not as sensitive as a lot of people, and so I'm kind of looking for evidence, and that's why I'm interested in this kind of stuff. I like the history of the locations as Glenn does, so I really enjoy going out on the investigations, but not being sensitive or a medium or anything else like that. I'm somewhere in the middle of a skeptic and a believer. I lean more to the science side. What can we record? Can we see anything on video? That type of thing. But as for personal experiences myself, it seems to be difficult for me. People around me hear things, see things, that sort of thing, but I never seem to experience that. So I still find it very interesting.
Cool. And you know what? Funny thing, I just found this book, or actually the book was given to me. I actually got 3 of them. And one of these books, the book itself is called Reading the Bones by Gina McMurtry Barber. And it's actually, the story is about, listen to this. Due to circumstances beyond her control, 12-year-old Peggy Henderson has to move to a quiet town of Crescent Beach, British Columbia.
Nice place to move to for a quiet, relaxing type
to
stuff.
live with her aunt and uncle without a father and separated from her mother who is looking for work. Peggy feels her unhappiness increasing until the day she and her uncle started digging a pond in the backyard, and she realizes the rock she's been trying to pry from the ground is a real human skull.
Yeah.
Peggy eventually learns that her home and the entire seaside town were built on top of a 5,000-year-old Coast Salish fishing village.
Yes.
With the help of an elderly archaeologist, a woman named Edie, Peggy comes to know the ancient storyteller buried in her yard in a way few others can, by reading the bones. As life with her aunt becomes more and more unbearable, Peggy looks to the old Salish man of the past for help and answers. Now, the woman who wrote this lives here in Surrey, and so she's Aboriginal herself, and she wrote this book because it's all to do with what we find. Now, you and I, the three of us, I mean, and all of us, we were there on that location, and here this book is dropped in my hands. Say, here, Derek, you want this? I'm going like, yeah.
So is that like a little bit of the history of that location?
The history of that location, and there's a village that was there 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, there was also a British fort there as well when they first moved into the coastal line. It was a small fort, but there was a lot of activity there. There was a lot of fighting between the Salish and the British forces that actually showed up, which we actually did mention the British soldiers at the time when we did the investigation at Crescent Beach.
Yeah, especially one of the, and I was talking to one of the soldiers in spirit. Now, you actually have a recording that will add of that soldier answering you.
Yes, I do.
And I thought, oh, cool. I'm the one that asked the question, he answered. Yay.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to say, okay.
Being an ex-British soldier myself and an ex-army officer myself, it was kind of nice to get a response from the question that we asked, especially with me being there as well, which is, it's kind of part of the course. Like, sometimes you can put yourself into a situation where you're not involved, but when you actually have some sort of history within that location, it's kind of interesting to see what kind of responses you get within that area as well.
I thought it was pretty cool. I was just blown away. I went.
So what was the question and response that you got, Glenn?
The question I asked was, is there anyone here from the British Army who would like to step forward? And if you are, I'm a British officer myself. I'm a second lieutenant in the British Army. And we did get a definite response to which said, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So would you call that a Class A EVP?
It was a Class A. Definite Class A. Yeah,
Wow.
we're looking at something, you can understand what was being said. It's not like a normal EVP where you kind of like, guess on what is being said.
Right.
This was definitely Class A. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask Sharon something. Sharon, do you do your own paranormal investigation stuff in Winnipeg, don't you?
We've done just strictly for clients, but for fun, when we do travel, we do investigations when we're traveling. For instance, in Scotland in 2011, we did 2 investigations with the paranormal team up there. So, but yeah.
And how was it up there?
In Scotland?
Yeah.
I didn't want to come home.
I didn't want to go home.
I don't want to go home. I love my haggis. Well, no, I don't, but it's something you would say to be polite to the
go home.
Scottish people.
Yeah, I'll take my haggis and go home. When you did you do an investigation in Scotland, or you were up there, or was that what it was, or?
Well, we were out there for 3 weeks, and we weren't really expecting to do an investigation. It was just a long-awaited holiday. We haven't had a holiday in 2 years, and that was it. And it just so happens that I knew a paranormal investigation team up there since 2003, and we became extremely good friends. And they took us on to St. Margaret's Cave, and then Pettencrief House in Dunfermline, which is in, I think, in Fife.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, and it was a surprise for us. We did bring all whatever equipment that we did have, and they were just nice enough to surprise us with an investigation. So it was good. It's very good.
What did you think you found there? Did it sound like soldiers or people or?
No. It was just I was just soaking up the historical architecture. I love historical architecture, and I love to save buildings. It's one of the things that I do here in the city.
Yeah.
And to see all this rich history there, like the St. Andrew's Church that was burnt, but all the remnants that's left of it, and it's such a huge property. It took us half a day to get through it.
Really?
So, yeah, but I mean, I'm a kind of person who's great details, so that's why it's like when I go grocery shopping, it takes 3 hours. I read all the labels. So everything's in great detail for me, and I shoot like 1,000 photos within 3 hours, and I say, okay, I'm done, let's go to the next place, and everybody's like, oh, thank freaking God, it's about time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, as for feeling any presence or anything, no, not at all. I was just so giddy and extremely happy to be there.
So it wasn't as, like, you weren't getting that push over or that touching.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So basically, a lot of the investigation actually turned itself into more of a respectful.
There was nothing that happened. It was just a nice, lovely, quiet evening both times, and.
You're not really looking at anything malicious. It's just kind of something that's in there.
Yeah.
Trying to catch you.
Yeah, it just, and I'm pretty sure that it's more of a residual than anything else. So it was just it was a curator in the Pettencrief House that in the office on the second floor.
Yeah.
She was saying that office chairs would roll away, or telephones would be ringing and there's nobody there, and that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
The next day, one of the investigators threw a dinner. We had a dinner party at the condo where we were staying at, and Mary, one of the investigators from Scottish Paranormal, she says, "Oh, Sharon, I heard this old man, and he was right in the room with us." And I listened to it. The first thing that came to my mind was, that was me reaching up very high, sounding like an old woman, trying to get something, and I could feel my bones creaking, And she says, no, it's an old man. I says, no, believe me, it's me. Fawn says, you have the camera. Which camera number did you have? And I said, we had number 2. So he picked it up, and he went back, and he went into that room, and he played it. And here's me, where she's got the camera on me, trying to grab this paper, and I'm saying to the spirit, try and rattle this paper, and I'm trying to reach up high for it, and you hear this ooh, ooh, ooh kind of thing. That was me. And Mary's there, oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm just like, sorry.
I'm trying to reach for the toilet paper, not the other paper.
So yeah, it was.
That's why I heard ooh, ooh,
that was her imaginary ghost. So that was the only excitement that we had.
Honey, I think I found a ghost in the toilet.
Actually, we've had investigators on our team that have actually gone to the bathroom with their microphones on, and you get to listen to them tinkle for a while. It's like, you know what? It was kind of fun. But then when they come out, they realize that, oh my God, did you just catch me on audio? I'm like, sorry.
Well, at least he felt a little flushed.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, that's normal for a lot of people to go through that, getting themselves. There was actually people would set people up, just put a microphone in the toilet, and they, just to get their attention and see what would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then record it, and then they play it.
It's kind of funny when you actually get to hear somebody tinkle in the bathroom and go, oh, do you realize you have your mic still turned on?
Oh, look.
Like, oh,
I hear an EV.
Wow. Yeah. Whatever.
That's a blooper.
Yeah, then I can hear an EVP.
EVP. There you go.
They do exist.
Yeah, they do exist. Yeah, when you really got to go. Yeah.
So Sharon,
you
have this competition coming up.
Yes.
You spoke with me this morning. A reference Tim Miley, and his little question that he wanted to ask you. You have VIP tickets available.
Yeah, I have one VIP ticket left that is available for a winner, if there is going to be a winner, and I'm hoping that there will be. Now, what's involved with the VIP package is 2 days at the conference. That's the Saturday and Sunday, 13th, 14th. Lunch included. Then on the Saturday is the dinner with the speakers, as well as an investigation with the speakers. And that's pretty much about it. That's all about the VIP tickets.
Cool. See? I'll be bringing up most of my equipment with me, which is kind of interesting at best, because we're traveling pretty much from the West Coast to the East Coast. And like I say, I have to bring most of my equipment with me because I need EVP recording devices and digital voice recorders for that. Plus, I'll have my DVR system by that time. Hoping on Dave Juliana to get my system back to me in time, because that was an issue with my DVR. But we'll have lots of equipment on site from our guys. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the other guys as far as bringing equipment up, but we'll be fully loaded. Whichever floor we're on or whatever, we'll have DVR, we'll have full spectrum cameras, HD cameras, digital voice recorders, EMF, EM pumps. I'm gonna totally flood that full. So hopefully the guys that actually attend is the VIP. You're looking at an interesting investigation at best.
Yes. I'll tell you guys, when I was with Glenn on site, they had all kinds of equipment, and I think one of my most favorite one is the one that was that round unit.
Oh, the REM pod.
REM,
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting equipment.
It was talking like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Well, what we do is we generally use that as a trigger object for whatever we have around us, and use it in conjunction with digital voice recorders. And we've got some amazing results. Actually, I saw the actual concept of using the REM pod with the digital voice recorder on Haunted Collector. John Zappas used it. I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. You can actually tell when they're around you because it picks up on EMF. It creates its own EMF field.
Yeah.
And anything that interferes with that field.
We're
We're here.
We're back.
We're back. What do you guys think of that song? Just to honor, we actually played the song Jambalaya in the Bio just to honor.
We've lost you
guys up
again.
Are we still here?
Yeah, you guys are here. I hear you. I can hear you, boys. Unmute.
Yeah, we're getting little bits of you, that's about it, but we can't really make out anything.
Okay, you got me now?
I can hear you guys very well. Can you hear me now? I can hear you now. I can always hear you guys. Oh, here we go again.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, you guys have always been back. Are you there?
Yes.
I hear you guys very well. Your microphones are probably cutting each other off.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, you and I are going to have to figure that one out, my friend.
Yeah, I guess we have to do that. Like, both of us have been doing this for a while. Well, actually, I haven't been doing this for a while. You're the experienced guy, so if we're having issues with sound, we need to sort that out.
Yeah, because if you're not able to get me, and I probably let me check my reverb here.
Yeah.
It's better than it was a minute ago. For a second there, we were only getting a half a word a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, reason why because I speak I talk really fast.
Not that fast.
Sure, didn't you know that? I talk really fast. He goes, "What the hell's he talking about?" Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh my God, he can hear me!
Cool. Look at you.
Fixed.
Yeah. You want
Fixed.
watch this, guys.
Can you hear me now? Can you really hear me now?
Is that a canned message?
That's FX in the can.
Text in the can. That's good.
Yeah, FX in the can. I can talk to guys actually as if I'm actually in a dungeon.
Hello? How low can you go?
I know.
Not bad. Can you make us in a dungeon?
Well, you're in the dungeon.
You were in the dungeon.
That's right.
That's probably what his wife told him last time. You've been in dungeon for a lot of
you
years.
really get to the basement and like, okay, I'll set up a mic and 4 PCs in the bottom of the basement. Actually, 5 PCs in the bottom of the basement, and with a mic and a set of headphones, and she leaves me alone, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. Here's a question for all you three. Would you prefer to be left alone in a room to investigate, or would you prefer to be in a couple, like a pair, up in a room and investigate?
Now, if you want my personal opinion, I prefer to have someone there with me, just to correlate the evidence or the personal experience that I experience. It's better to have someone there. It's good for protection. It's good for just verifying what you've received. And also, there's a lot of other factors into that which don't get mentioned on Ghost Hunters or any of the other shows that are out there right now. But I will point on those in a few minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I more along the lines of Glenn. I think it's better if you're in a pair. However, I think in some instances you might have a better chance of gathering evidence if you're alone.
Yes.
But there's certain risks that go with that, I think.
Sharon?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I can tell. I can tell when Sharon said, "I'm alone."
I do like to have a partner with me.
Yeah.
Most of the time, and then there are those nights when I really want to be alone, but that's only because I'm taking a wee nap. And I don't want anybody to notice. I don't want to screw up the EVPs because I do snore a bit.
Yeah, it's just like I'm walking away for a quick EVP. I'll be right back in a few minutes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go for the EVP just a minute.
Fonz, though, my husband Fonz, he prefers to go by himself. As a matter of fact, when he started out with us in 2005, we were doing a lot of outdoor investigations out in the woods and that, and he'd go out by himself on his own into the middle of the woods, and we named him the Bushman. He hated that name, but we kept calling him Bushman, and finally he just said, okay, we're not doing any more investigations outdoors anymore. That was it, and we haven't been on another one since. I kind of missed it.
I like myself. I mean, I would say part of me likes to go alone.
Yeah.
Part of me, I don't mind pairing. You know, I'll pair with people. I don't. I guess I'm used to it. I don't fear the dark.
Yeah.
I take chances because to me, I guess you'd say, I look forward to seeing them, who I'm going to be meeting. If it feels too edgy for me, if I could feel the energy, if it's too edgy, where I need that someone next to me to basically look for that support.
Yeah.
Then I would say, I'll ask the person to say, well, let's team up. But if there's times I want to walk by myself and go there, I'll do it because I want to test and make sure that it's not just my imagination or that someone else is making that swish swish sound. You know what the worst type of clothing that I just don't like guys wearing, whether it's man or woman, when they go on a paranormal investigation, is when they start wearing those damn silk pants.
Yeah, that's not good for.
And you're walking investigation, all you hear is
mess up with your stuff.
Yeah, all you hear is swoosh, 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 swoosh. I'm going, what the hell is that? Who's that? There must be something. And all you whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What the hell? And it's someone actually wearing those type of pants. Those are the worst things to wear.
Yeah.
Or even that kind of a coat. Because if you make one movement and you're thinking, okay, is that an activity or is that someone, like you really have to be really aware of what type of fabric you're wearing when you're actually on investigations.
Yeah, we did pretty much the same with me. Like when we go on investigations, we tend to tag our own sounds. Like if you scrape a chair, fart, whatever, you can guarantee that my guys will say, sorry, that was me. And we'll move on from that. That way you can get rid of that evidence from your investigation, reference what was captured at that time. So it actually does speed up the process of eliminating that kind of information.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. You ever heard of actually a ghost fart?
Well, no, but our guys do. So
actually, in that case, we always say, sorry, that was Glenn.
Yeah, well, sorry. That was me.
Sorry, that was Glenn.
Yeah, but it's just things like that where you're scraping a chair or you're moving or you're shuffling and say, if you can turn around and say, sorry, that was me. Or at least say, it's a possibility that wasn't me at that time. Which does make a big difference when you're actually analyzing audio or video. That, okay, we can rule that out. We know exactly who the investigator was on the scene at the time, and they actually did say that was them at that response. So, okay, so that's not paranormal. It's natural.
Yeah. Now, here's one that I always find is interesting. A lot of people, like every time you watch a horror movie, you'll always hear a creaking of a door. Like, right? In a movie, in a horror movie. Do you ever get the sound of? You ever get any investigations, or ever had any investigations where you actually will hear a creaking of a door?
Actually, it's funny you should say that, Clark. We went to a place on Clow Road in Kelowna, and it was a residence, a house. The people lived there, and they had been experiencing a lot of activity. And one of the things that was going on was the door in the bathroom downstairs was slamming shut. what is it? No, it was more of a creak sound. But we went down and we had a camera on the one side of the door, and I went in with the homeowner into the room. And once you were in that room, there was another door that led into the laundry room. And as we were starting to go into the laundry room, I heard a door creak, which caused me to turn my head and look. And it happened to be the bathroom door, which was now across the room from both of us. And I was looking over the shoulder of the owner. Had I not heard the creak of the door, I wouldn't have even looked. But I was able to actually watch that door pick up speed and slam shut. And now the owner and I are standing in the middle of a dark room. And my first thought was that someone on the other side of the door had closed it. But we do have the camera footage that shows that didn't happen at all. And I know when I opened the door and went through it, and to hear, the reaction of everyone else who had also watched it close from the other side, it was kind of neat, and it creaked when it went, but it was neat.
Yeah, it creaked really quickly. It was like slam.
Yeah,
one of those. Yeah.
It was I think it was a louder slam than that.
Slammer than that. Oh, slammed myself.
That's a little bit. That was more like it.
Yeah. Or else you get something like this.
No, that was the guys on the outside of the door.
That was the guy they were standing with.
Surprised me.
Yeah, I'm actually watching my guys walk by the door, and I'm like, you know what? Don't stop. Just keep walking. And they're like, okay. And I had two guys on the outside with a camera who were like, totally F-blinding to the max.
There was lots of F-bombs dropped that night when that happened.
Do you know that happens quite often? Do you notice that there's more and more guys actually F-bombing during the investigations because they're more and more, I guess I'd say, sensitive. When you lead somebody on, and I'm going to see what you guys answer this right, if this is what you want to say, but do you even notice that whenever you do an investigation, if it's really, really creepy, there's more F-bombing?
Oh, absolutely.
When it's slight,
I think part of that comes from being on, a few investigations now, and with different people that react differently.
Yeah, but
I find there's a high percentage of people that just the fact that they know the history of the property, they're ready to scream and freak out and drop the F-bomb at just about anything.
Yeah, but would you prefer to know ahead of time of the incidents that took place in these location, or would you prefer?
No.
You know what I mean? You walk in, you take the chance.
It's funny. I think, and in the people I've worked with, I find that the people that are the most sensitive really don't want to know the history of the location. Whereas I, on the other hand, who's not so sensitive, I want to know as much about it going in, and then I try and not scare myself, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to know what's going on, because I'm not going to pick up on anything otherwise.
Well,
anyways.
Here's one, Troy. Have you ever opened a door and there's something on the other side looking at you back?
Never.
Glenn?
Yes.
I was with Glenn, actually, when something like that happened, and I was looking away when it happened, and actually Glenn shut the door on me because of what he saw. And I was like, why did you shut the door? And he told me what he saw, and I went, well, I would have liked to have seen it.
Sharon, how about you?
No.
No?
No.
So what did you see, Glenn?
We were at the Hat Creek Ranch. Cache Creek. We had done the investigation. We were kind of just sitting around at the end of the night, just chilling. And we thought, well, let's go back. No, why not? We'll head back to the coach house, and we'll see what we can pick up. And we walked around for a little while. We had footsteps upstairs. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And this is 5 a.m. This is not like 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock, as they presume that activity occurs.
Yeah.
This is actually 5 o'clock in the morning. There was no staff members around. We had full access to the location, and we just walked around. We thought, well, why not? We'll just go back, just for the fun of it, because neither one of us was sleeping at that time. And we went into the bar. There's a back room in the bar of the Hat Creek Ranch with a kind of a hatch. And we were sitting there. We were basically doing EVP without equipment, which really sucked. And we didn't carry any of our equipment. We just went back and thought, oh, let's go back and check it out. And I opened the hatch. We were doing the EVP, and a hand came out and grabbed me. Mm-hmm. And I slammed the door. And Troy's like, WTF. As they say.
I was like, what the F? Why did you close the hatch? Like, what's going on? And then he told me what he saw. And I was basically grilling him at that point. Really?
And I'm pretty much white as a ghost.
And, yeah, I think he saw what he saw. But I didn't see it. I wasn't looking in the right direction.
The actual hatch that they used was just in the back room behind the bar. Mm-hmm. So the kids used to run underneath the hatch at the back so they could listen into what the adults were saying in the bar. It was kind of unusual that we actually did capture. Well,
actually, it was funny. Glenn had the hatch open, and the story goes that the kids used to crawl under the bar, and you can actually see through the slots in the floor of the bar. It's an old wooden floor. So if you were in the crawl space under the bar, you could actually look up through the floor of the bar.
Yeah.
And apparently that's what the kids like to do. And the story goes that every now and again that the adults would know that they were down there, and they would give them some alcohol. They would, throw a bottle of rum down there or something like that. So Glenn and I, when we were standing over the hatch, I had a coffee cup in my hand. And I started, we as Glenn said, we were just kind of doing an EVP, but without the equipment, talking as if there was spirit in the room kind of thing. And I says, when he had the hatch open, I've got some rum here. Why don't you come up and join us? And it was my empty coffee cup. I had just finished my coffee. And I tipped the glass and I started to take a sip of the empty glass because I was going through the motions of come on up and join us. And that's when Glenn saw what he saw and slammed the hatch down. So it was kind of neat, the sequence of the way it happened.
Watching little munchkins come out in front of the floor.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting place, that Hat Creek Ranch.
Actually, the Hat Creek Ranch had claims of a Chinese worker in the kitchen who worked there back in 1903, I guess. I'll try to explain a little bit about Hat Creek Ranch. Hat Creek Ranch was a way station on the way to the gold mines on its way. It was basically just a way station where they traded off wagon stations, horses, blah, 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 etc. It was used by a lot of really interesting historical characters back in its day. A lot of outlaws frequented that place. And
it was a Houseville recruit as well.
A combination of both. But that was part of the course back in its day. We were looking at like 1890 to 1903 was the area, and obviously 1912 was when they built the actual roadhouse.
Yes.
But we had an amazing amount of activity there, which was strange at best.
Yeah, we got a lot of things off the EVPs with the voice box. I would say Class A EVPs. It was a good investigation. I enjoyed it.
It was an amazing investigation. I really enjoyed Hat Creek Ranch.
Actually, did you feel anything actually followed you home right after you'd done your investigations?
I had a bit of an issue when I left, but generally I don't really get attachments. But over the last year and a half to 2 years, I've picked up stuff on the way home. Where I've actually had to have my wife pull over to the side of the road and say, I have to puke. I'm sorry for the word puke, but that's the way it is. It's just like pull over to the side of the road, open the door, puke. I'm done.
Yeah. Allowed to say that on the radio?
Yes, I'm allowed to say puke.
Well, you can say throw up.
I think
I had to throw up over it.
Yeah. Have an accident. I had to pull over and have an accident. How does that work?
Hurl?
Yeah, hurl works as well. That's more Canadian than...
Yeah, I hurled with a girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Actually, when we came back from Crescent Beach, I had a little accident, as they say. So, it's common. Like, people who are getting into this field now, like say they've watched like 6 seasons of Ghost Hunters or 3 seasons of Paranormal Investigation, and they're well. It's not how it looks on TV. It's a little bit different. It's extremely boring for the most part, but there are consequences to what we do.
A lot of people don't realize about investigations and about the work that we do, because people have actually gotten sick even after some investigations, but they're not going to talk about it on TV.
Oh no!
How about you, Derek? Have you ever experienced anything?
Oh God, yeah.
That way?
First time I started into this stuff, I remember one time my body was actually taken over. They've actually done it to me. They've actually taken over my body, so it's very common. But,
and how do you mean that? I've never seen anybody do that happen to.
They try
so what happens exactly?
Well, they try to look through my eyes, and then I start feeling kind of throw uppy because I can't control my body.
Yeah,
I can't keep it focused. I lose balance. My equilibrium's all messed up, and then I start feeling throw uppy, like I want to throw up, and they want to control my hands, and they want me to go somewhere. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to your home. I want to go somewhere else. That's almost like being in possession, so to speak. But if you're fully coherent, knowing of what's going on. See, the thing is, they're not used to. They want to control you, knowingly. You're trying to say no, you can't.
Right.
And so your body's fighting them.
Right.
And because they still think sometimes they'll still think they're still alive.
Yeah.
And they want to look through your eyes, because at times when they try to control me, I'm looking through 2 pairs of eyes. They get the way I see it, and then the way they see it. It's kind of crazy. But next thing you know, I'm driving down the road and I stop and pull over. I'm throwing up, and I get home, and then my wife will wait for me. She knows when I'm not myself.
Right.
I walk in the door. I said, "Can you get the salts, get the medicines out, because I'm in possession." And so next thing you know, I strip down. And I get into the tub, and she turns on the water, and then she brings in the medicines, and she soaks up, like she fills the tub a little bit, puts in the medicines, and I kneel inside the tub, and then she takes the towel and soaks it all up, and she pours it on lays the towel on my back, and then she prays over me, and she says, "White Bear, help your brother." And so White Bear's inside me, and he comes into me, and he starts pulling that person that's inside me out. And so he's the one that's helped me, I could just say, remove whatever connection I have to who that person was. And and then they step in. He takes them to the light. He walks them through into the light. And by the time I'm done, it takes about a half an hour. By the time I'm done, then I lay down on the bed. I'm out. I'm totally exhausted for at least a couple hours. And then after that, I'm fine.
So when you say medicines, Derek, what do you mean? What are you using?
Well, we use a variety of medicines like Epsom salts mixed with cedar. It's all done in powdered form, and it's mixed up. And there's pure medicines, and a little bit with holy water.
Yeah.
And then you're soaking in the tub. The tub is like you feel the tub, so you're on your knees, totally naked on your knees. And then my wife takes the whole towel, and she lays the whole towel on my back. And then I'm soaking. So basically, it can't stay in me because she's got me covered.
Right.
And it's forcing it out. It's forcing whomever it is that's in my body out.
Salts is the big. I hear salts a lot.
Yeah, Epsom salts.
What does that do?
Well, basically, Epsom salts is a pure medicine. It's pure.
Yeah.
And for some reason, anything that's connected to the darkness cannot handle the salt. Salt's pure.
Yeah, I've always been using salt on my doorways and entryways on my house. And even when I come home after an investigation, I will wipe my feet on the doormat and say, welcome here. So I'm actually telling them that they're not welcome into my house.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good, because I haven't really had anything in my house other than my own residential entity, which doesn't really do a lot anyway. He's not malevolent. He's not interested in what we do. He just kind of checks at us every now and again, which is kind of like a watcher, I guess you would class it as.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a problem as far as indoors. It's generally been when I've been just coming off an investigation. And it's only happened over the last few few years where I've actually got an attachment, and they've kind of dragged onto me and made my wife pull off to the other side of the road and puke.
Well, guys, you want to hang on tight, and
Sure.
we also did have a caller. We had a caller still in the background, so we'll wait. We'll get her come and talk to us in a few minutes.
All right.
We went to a
All right.
more commercial, guys. Hang on tight. You listen to Between Two Worlds Radio and the Z-Talk Radio
You know what?
Network. We got lots to do, guys. Be right back.
And one of the first things that I was taught to do is to do exactly what Derek did, get in the tub. But I take a shower. I was taught to take a shower and bathe and get all of that out. The only thing about doing that, though, as I was thinking about doing it without salts and things of that sort, and doing what my native roots would probably do.
Yeah.
Because the salt, it acts as a binder, and even if you are like working in with someone who does have a spirit that is attached to them, one of the things that I was taught to do was surround them with salt.
Yeah.
Also, you can do that with sage and rosemary and a number of other things, but the big quantifier in a lot of these spirit traps is to use the salt.
Yeah.
So I know that when something is up with my particular spiritual energy, I will tell my husband. I will ask him. I said, does it seem like my energy feels off or weird to you? And what he does is he is part Chinese, and they do something called Qigong, which is basically an energy movement within the body.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses his hands, and he goes over my aura, around my body, and if he feels anything kind of off or weird, he'll let me know. But very often, if you're a spiritual individual, you will know that there's something that's not right. A lot of times when I find that there's something wrong, my body feels like it wants to rock. Yeah. And you will also get headaches, or you'll see double vision. There are a couple of other things that if it goes on a lot, you probably should go to a doctor and get checked. But when we were just talking about spiritual energy, these are the kinds of things to look for.
Jackie, just out of curiosity, being a person myself that's never experienced anything like that, and given the fact that I have been going on more and more investigations with Glenn and his team, I'm just kind of curious, if a person has never had an attachment, would they be aware of something like that happening to them?
It might sometimes take about 3 or 4 days for them to realize that there is something wrong. But you will have a tendency, if you have spontaneous outbursts of anger, or if you feel like
yeah, she's right.
Crying jags, or if you are extremely thirsty or overly hungry. A lot of these kinds of things are, and they're like ravenous. They're like you haven't eaten for thousands of years or something like that. These are things that you can attribute to that. The other thing is that for sensitive people who have attachment, they will often see short, like visions. Sometimes these visions can only last maybe 5-10 seconds, but they're like little snippets into something that feels very, very off. And
while they're awake, they have these?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And it's like you're going through somebody else's memories or someone else's area where they lived, or where they died, or just it oddly feels like it's something of a memory, but if you know about yourself, and that's the one thing that people really need to realize, that when they go on these ghost hunts, they need to know, first off, who they are, what they're about, why they're doing what they're doing, what is driving them to do this. And if they have a pretty good understanding of themselves, then they're generally the ones that will be the ones that will recognize when something feels off.
I see. Now, if a regular person that say is not a sensitive or a medium does get an attachment, and they're new to the field, kind of a thing, how would you recommend that they get rid of that attachment? They may not have, we'll say, remedies available to them at hand. So what would you suggest someone would do?
Right. Well, generally what happens is if someone gets an attachment, they may have probably picked up a piece of not equipment, but a piece of something that has a lot of energy, a trinket, or they may have touched something that was inside the building when they were going, and they can, if they know what they're looking for. Sometimes you'll feel a zap, like a little piece of like electric. When you stuff your feet on the floor and you touch something metal, you get zapped.
Yes.
You can also get zapped off of wooden items and other things that belonged to the individual. What you can do is, if you feel like that, first thing for you to do is go find running water. Go turn the tap on. Go wash your hands. It is best to use cold water. Some use warm water or hot water, but it's best that you use cold water. And that basically, it's like a release. It shuts off the excess energy that is not for your body, and you can release it into the water. If you don't have running water, it's good to, again, have salt, or some people also use religious items that they will carry about their person when they are going on a investigation. If you don't have any of this and you realize there is something going on, first thing to do is pray and ask your guides to be able to help you to take the energy away from you. And since now you know that there can be attachment, even if you don't conjure something or shout at something, or something can add to you. Now that you know this, these are the kinds of things that you can do to be able to help make it stop. And if you find that within the first 15, 20 minutes, you're still not feeling like yourself, you need to find someone who has more experience and be able to help get rid of it.
I see. Now, it sounds to me like salts is probably the easiest. Now, is there any particular kind of salt that works better than others, or just any kind of salt?
Kosher.
You can use basically any kind of salt.
Jewish salt.
Kosher, yes, as the gentleman in the background said, is best. Why? Because it is the least
pure salt.
Degraded.
Yeah.
It is in its most original form.
I see. That makes sense.
If I may, I myself, I use Greek sea salt, and it's a raw sea salt.
Yeah.
And it still has some of the seaweeds in there.
Yeah.
So that's what I use, and I myself use it in the shower, so I have that running water with me.
Greek salt's made from real Greek salty people.
It makes you hungry for some falafel, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Greek salad.
Falafel is very good, actually. I like it myself. I have been having some extra paranormal activity that has been happening within my kitchen. And my husband has witnessed this. Also, not just in my kitchen, but then in my living room, which we have a lot of activity lately. In the kitchen, things will open, and just some of the normal kind of things. But these lately have been more, shall we say, aggressive. And one thing that my husband witnessed is that I have a desk that's a writing desk, computer desk, and it has drawers that are on the top that are really they're not as stable as what they should be. Yeah. And one of them went flying from my desk, launched itself right in front of the television screen, which was a good maybe 10, 15 feet. And I didn't see this. But I know that there are other things that do happen in my home. I'm just kind of curious if anybody can pick up anything at all about my new poltergeist activity.
That would be more Derek's framework. I'm not much of a sensitive. I'm more on the scientific level. But yeah, Derek, what do you think?
Poltergeist. Well, it depends on what's in your house. But let's put it this way, my dear, what do you do for a living? Zombie stuff, right?
That's not
so
fair.
you're drawing public their attention, and they're just curious what's going on. See, you look like the Walking Dead half.
So when my children are present, not me.
Yeah, I know, because they want to be attached to children. They like the sound of children around them. The spirit is always attracted to children more than adults.
So I think what I should probably do is go and resage the house.
So I would say your best off to do is to get the children to do a prayer with you and to send it off.
Yes.
Because they're the ones that need to tell it to go. To move on.
Yeah, pretty much have to take control of your own location. If there's something happening in your house, you have to take it back. It's not their house. They may have been there prior to you, but it's my house. It's like, hello, you're not welcome here. It depends on how you feel.
Unless they can coexist with them, then that's fine.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
If the kids have no problem with it, fine.
We have a number of natives that are, and I mean that in the original sense, as in Native Americans, that hang around the house, and we have never had a problem with them. We have drums that are made that were made for my family, and they often go launching themselves off the wall. And
that's Derek's bag. And Derek is pretty much good with the First Nations type stuff, so he can give a little bit of hand with that.
They like to play the drum. They like to ping them. They'll make them ping.
Yes, and they will. What will happen first is that you'll hear light tapping on the drum, and we try to take them down and and use the drum, because very often what we have found that when that happens is that they're trying to get us to drum, and the sound of the drum helps to create a better vibration within the home, and also in the individual who is drumming and those who hear it. It's it goes to the heart of the matter, literally, and it does it through vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll sound like this.
Yeah, it sounds like Derek.
Good stuff. I can't wait to go to powwow. We don't have powwows all year round. We only have them during the summer months here, up around here. So we try to go at least once a year to be able to hear the drum. And we have a lot of friends that are natives that will go and travel a circuit, and so we get to oftentimes stay after all the tourists go home, and that's a very special time. That's when, as we say, the real powwow starts. When all the tourists go home.
Now, before we finish the night, we got a contest.
Yes, we do.
We'll be running it.
Oh, yeah.
2 hours already now. So
I
basically,
almost forgot about that.
here's the question, folks. Ready, Glenn? Just do
Yes,
the
I am.
question. We have
Okay,
one
we
of
have,
one of our show hosts here on Z Talk Radio has a fear, and his name is Tim Miley
From Fox City
from
Paranormal.
Fox City Paranormal. And the question is, if you guys will win, anybody who's a listener
Will win
will
one
win.
VIP ticket.
Yep. And if you want to share that, Sharon, with the value.
That is $120.
Yeah, I was right.
That's for the whole weekend.
Yeah, and that's a big bargain for
That's a
anyone who's
big
coming out.
bargain, is right.
It's going to be held at the Winnipeg Paracon, guys. That's happening in July.
July 12th to 14th.
12th to the 14th. And you get to have dinner with the paranormal investigation team. You get even a dinner with me
Speakers.
as a speaker, and as Sharon and Glenn and anyone else who's a speaker. Even Scotty Rourke's going to be a speaker.
Oh, yeah.
And Tim Miley, yeah.
And
That's
Tim
going to be
Miley,
cool.
right?
And Tim Miley, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So the
That's a good
here's
cast.
the contest, and or here's
So-
the question.
What is the one thing that Tim Miley is most freaked out about Canada?
Coming to Canada.
He's so
What
freaked
freaks him out about Canada?
If you want to call us real quickly, you can call 1-604-597-9005 and get back to me as quickly as you can, because these tickets are like hot right now.
And only people who are actually serious about going, not just for the sake of winning.
That's right.
What was that number again?
Sorry.
Now this is
Sorry,
is the ticket
here who's like looking at the number like, can I win tickets? Like,
okay? So the
What's
ticket,
that number again?
you can't because you're a radio host. Go
I think
away.
I have that week off.
Wait a minute. Yeah, me too.
see now Jackie Chin could win too. All she has to know what the answer
I
is.
would
can win.
love to,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I can't go. I can't go. So.
Bummer. You're from the East Coast,
I
right?
know, right? I
Yeah.
would love to meet you guys. Go ahead and give the number out again, though.
It's 1-604-597-9005.
Glenn's giving out his phone number.
It's my personal number.
His
so
personal number.
you guys
Cool, that can prank him.
tickets. $120 value is more than open to if you can call me real quick. If not, Derek Whiteskycloud will obviously do the Helen show
We
again.
will
I'll
keep-
also
we'll
do the
hang on
show
to that ticket.
Saturday, so
Yeah.
you can call in then as well.
Yeah, we'll hang on to a ticket, and then you can actually do that same contest if nobody calls in yet. If they're not making it up, then we'll just wait until Saturday.
Yeah, it's pretty much
And,
money.
then they'll call. You can get them to call in again. So, because there's going to be an open mic. There's going to be a show. Glenn's going to go live on location between 12 noon Pacific to 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you guys can actually phone in, and whoever that first caller is. First caller, Glenn. First caller.
Well, the first correct caller.
First correct caller. And the question is, what is Tim Miley most afraid of coming to Canada? And if you know the answer, then tell us the answer, and then you get that ticket, and you can join us down over at the Winnipeg Paracon.
Okay, well, thank you so much for allowing me to share some time with you this evening, and I hope that you all do very well at the convention. And please call in, because this is going to be an amazing experience for anyone who calls in and gets that ticket.
And,
I will talk to you guys later.
and Jackie's going to start saving.
Thanks,
some.
Thanks, Jackie.
Jackie's
Be
going to
well.
start.
Bye-bye.
She's going to
Yes.
start saving some of her
Yeah.
money.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Now, for everyone else, you can go to www.paracon.ca to order tickets. You can buy for 1 day, which is $45 online. At the door, it's $55. 2 days is $80, or at the door, $90. Then the VIP package is $120, and that's only online. You can't get that at the door. Vendor's package is $110. You get your table, free lunch on both days, speakers. It's going to be awesome. And then there's a Victorian seance on Saturday night. That's $15 for the for each session, and there's 3 sessions. So, and that's only online as well.
That's great value.
Oh yeah, I mean you get Victorian seance. I mean you get to go. You're reenacting the time of,
Yeah.
going back in
And
time.
free lunch. I mean, really? Who can pass up a free lunch, right?
Yeah.
Why not? How about a free investigation?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'm wonder if the free lunch is pierogies.
And then also, there's no refunds. I have to say that there are no refunds, unfortunately, and I'm sorry about that. Not my rules, though.
When I go to Winnipeg, I want my pierogies and cabbage rolls.
You know what? Alicia's is closed down.
No.
Yes.
Oh no, you can't close that down.
The woman sold the business. She just closed it down, and that was it. And there were people for a whole 7 days camped out her door, waiting for her to reopen. It was the worst day of my life to see that go.
That was the hottest restaurant going. Why did she pack it in?
She's old, for God's sake. She's what, 90?
Nah, just keep on cooking.
Pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah,
The next generation didn't want to have to do all the work because they were packed every night.
Always.
I know.
7
She
days
was
of the
so
week,
well
they
known
were
for
packed.
years. I remember when I was a kid.
It was a tiny restaurant, eh?
Yeah, I was a kid. I was going there all the time.
Yeah, it was a staple in the North End, and now it's gone.
Oh man, that place was going, 60, 70 years. It's been there for a long, long time. It's one of the oldest restaurants going.
Yeah, well, it was. And same with Colectus, too.
And you also had, Salisbury House started back in the 60s, early 60s.
Yeah, well, there's still a couple of Salisbury houses, but they're starting to close down now.
They don't have, and they used to have one called Chicken on the Way.
Yeah, that one I don't remember.
There was a restaurant called Chicken on the Way, and they closed the very last one here in Burnaby. And now the East Indians took it over. Now it's called Chicken Curried on the Way.
Sorry, that's kind of funny on the West Coast. Sorry.
Yeah. Chicken curried on the way.
I can't say anything.
It's called the hot seat while you walk.
Yes, it is. But once again, if you want to call in and catch those tickets, it's 1-604-597-9005. You've got about 15 to 20 minutes to call in right now.
Yeah.
Also, Tim, in about a couple of weeks, Tim will be running the same contest, but it's a different prize, and that's just for the 2 day for the 2 days. And
okay,
that's speakers, vendors, and free lunch again on both days.
Oh, cool.
So, and that is a value of $80 online. At the door, it's $90.
Here, I'm going to offer you something of service, Sharon.
Oh dear. I'm married, you know, right?
No, I'm of service. I'm not talking about man. Of service. Sorry, I'm not on my knees. I'm not begging. What I'm saying of service is actually, I will give each of those people at the table, I will do psychometry and read whether they have a ring of jewelry, something on their person. I'll tell them what kind of person they're like, or who's connected to them.
Oh wow! Well, now people, you got to call in now.
Oh, hold on a second. I think I may have someone on. Let me just check here. Nope, I don't.
They were
I thought I had to call in, but I guess not.
They said they want to call in, but they can't. Too far away.
Yeah, that option.
That's okay. Well, actually, the contest will run itself. We'll make it. Well, basically, a lot of good things are going to happen.
And be sure to listen to Tim Miley's Fox Cities Paranormal Radio as well through Z Talk. He's also running a contest, like I said, for the 2 day general admission, and valued at $80 online, $90 at the door. So yeah.
And also, this whole
you might win one there.
Well, also the show itself, what we just finished doing, the big, huge interview this evening. I'm going to turn this into a video.
and we're going to pop this into YouTube, and I'm going to pop it into Facebook. It's going to go into Facebook, so this advertising we'll make is going to actually be shared with the public, and then they have to see it for themselves and see who the first caller would be.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's open. Like I say.
Ooh, nah. So, Mr. Glenn, anything you want to share before we close?
Not really. Like I say, we're heading up to the Coleman Hotel this weekend, and then we'll be pretty much live broadcasting live from the location. I'll be speaking with the owner. I'll be speaking with the local tenants who have been around there for like God knows how many years. Also, my affiliate members with the group will be setting up while I'm broadcasting. So I'm getting out of a quick slack and doing nothing.
What are you trying to say? I'm going to have to work while you're on the radio?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we'll be also
Troy's got to do something.
And so it kind of works out nice. Like my show is at 7 p.m. PST, and if I can grab anybody.
Well, actually, you're going on twice. You're going on twice there, Glenn. You'll be going on 3.
Yeah.
From 12 noon to 3.
Double things, so it's going to be
12 noon to 3 live, and then you go on your own show at 7 p.m.
Yeah. The only problem I have with the location is it's really tough to get Wi-Fi. So I'm hoping that I can get online.
Well, let's see what happens. We're going to give it a shot. Or else he'll have to do the old-fashioned antenna, stick his finger up in the air.
Yeah, and get the old Wi-Fi
plug it into a tower somewhere.
Yeah, a little coat hanger or something.
Yeah, or you can get one of the ghosts you can borrow and get them to fly in the sky and hold on to the telephone pole.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can try to do that.
I can do that.
Okay.
Now, Derek, I just have one more thing to put in that is part of the conference.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's Tim Miley, actually. He's coming in with some pictures. I'm not sure if they're poster pictures, but they're called photographs, and that's of Murray the Paranormal Pooch.
Yeah.
Tim and Murray have gone to conferences together, and Murray has absolutely saved Tim's life. He just loves this dog so much. He's an awesome dog. But he's selling these photos of Murray with Murray's pawtograph on it.
Pawtograph.
Yeah.
Now it's $10, and we've contacted Darcy's Pet Rescue out here in Winnipeg. And Tim is going to donate all the proceeds from selling those pictures. All the proceeds will go to Darcy's Pet Rescue, and it will go to an adoption fee for a family.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
So, this is a huge deal.
You're bringing up...
that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm watching Tim with these photographs.
Yes, yeah. So, I think that... for him to do this, and he does this in anywhere he goes to speak. So this is he's just giving back.
Yeah, there's another lady I know. Her name is Olga Horvat, and she actually wrote a book called Paranormal Pooch. It's funny how our dogs are so connected to the spirit world.
Yeah.
That's another story in itself. Anyways, yeah, great. We'll have that contest. Looking forward to having... Tim's going to be a busy guy, I'm telling you that for sure. When he comes down to Winnipeg, he's going to be really, really busy. I think all of us are.
Well, yeah, and then we have the Z-Talk Radio that's going to be doing a live radio through at the conference as well.
Yeah, we're going to be live, going hot on live between Scotty, Glenn, myself. We'll be sharing the waves, and same with Tim. So it's going to be really going like crazy.
Myself, Tim, my wife Janice, and
Scott.
Scott, yeah. So
Derek.
It's going to be an interesting broadcast at best.
And to be interviewing other teams that'll be coming in from across Canada and the States.
Yeah.
That'll be something for them.
Yeah.
Plus a bonus, let you guys know out there too, as a bonus, I'll be doing mediumship messages for the public. So if anybody wants to come in and see what I do as far as demonstrating my work, you guys are more than welcome to join us. Again, we'll be out there in July, and in Winnipeg, it's going to be one big show. So get yourself down there as soon as you possibly can. Get your tickets, guys, because it's something that this is my first paranormal conference being asked to be part of. Normally, I've always
watched but never participated, and then I was very thankful when Sharon called me up. She says, "Derek, would you like to be part of this?" I went, "Yeah, I could do that."
Actually, you called me.
I called you. Yeah, I did.
There you go.
Yeah, I called you. No, but when someone told me to call, no, what was that? Someone told me to call you?
Called you. Scotty Rourke called you.
Yeah, he called me. Yeah, he says, "Call her." Okay.
Yeah, I went for Tim.
I didn't know who you were.
Okay, she didn't know me. And yet, people down there know who I am. Funny,
kind of strange that people know what's more
this is so
in the
funny.
States than they do.
Sharon doesn't know anything about me, but yet the people in Winnipeg know who I am.
Oh gosh!
Right? Like there's people.
I tend to stay out of other people's business.
Let's put it this way: there's people that Sharon knows that know who I am.
Well, I do now.
Yeah.
You drilled it in my head.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it. I'm going to drill it good.
Sorry.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, laugh a little bit.
I know there's going to be a curse going on sometime during my night.
Yeah, surely.
Like if you watch, Sharon's going to be haunted now. You watch. Why didn't you know that, man?
So to get your tickets, please go to www.paracon, that's PARACON.ca.
You got it. Oh, man, this is so cool.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, we're going to call it a close.